Small Talk Mastery Quiz. Test your social intelligence and discover the hidden power of light conversation. This quiz will challenge your understanding of the techniques that build powerful connections. Prepare to transform your everyday interactions from simple chit-chat into genuine rapport. Core connection principles. This section explores the fundamental mechanics of great conversation. You will learn about the dynamic flow of dialogue and the key difference between self-centered and supportive responses. Master these principles to make others feel truly heard and valued. What is the primary purpose of small talk? A. To exchange detailed information. B. To fill awkward silences. C. To build relationships and create comfort. D. To prove your intelligence. C. To build relationships and create comfort. Small talk serves as a social lubricant and a bridge to more meaningful connections, not just as a way to pass the time. The ping pong analogy describes small talk as what? A. A competitive sport. B. A lonely activity. C. A dynamic reciprocal exchange. D. A conversation with a fixed winner. C. A dynamic reciprocal exchange. Like a game of ping pong. Effective small talk involves a back and forth rally where both participants are actively engaged. What is a shift response? A. Changing the topic of conversation. B. Shifting the focus of the conversation back to yourself. C. Supporting the other person's statement. D. Asking a clarifying question. B. Shifting the focus of the conversation back to yourself. A shift response is a common conversational habit where you redirect the other person's story to be about you. What is the defining characteristic of a support response? A. It keeps the focus on the other person. B. It quickly changes the subject. C. It shares a personal story. D. It ends the conversation. A. It keeps the focus on the other person. A support response encourages the other person to elaborate, making them feel heard and valued. What is fata communication? A. Communication focused on deep, factual exchange. B. Communication where the primary goal is social, not informational. C. Communication that is always written. D. Communication used only in formal settings. B. Communication where the primary goal is social, not informational. Phatic expressions like, "How are you?" are social rituals used to acknowledge another person and maintain social bonds. In a casual encounter, what is the socially expected response to "How are you?" A. A detailed report of your current state. B. A brief, positive response followed by returning the question. C. A long story about your day. D. Ignoring the question and walking away. B. A brief, positive response followed by returning the question. This acknowledges the social ritual without treating it as a literal request for a detailed, personal update. What is the serve in the ping pong analogy of conversation? A. The end of the conversation. B. The main point of the story. C. The initiation with a question or observation. D. The response to question. C. The initiation with a question or observation. The serve is how one person starts the conversational rally, inviting the other person to play. According to the guide, what is the single most powerful technique for making people enjoy talking to you? A. Using a shift response. B. Talking about yourself. C. Consciously using support responses. D. Dominating the conversation. C. Consciously using support responses. Making the other person feel heard and valued by focusing on their story is the most effective way to build rapport. The small talk playbook. Here we cover the practical side of small talk, focusing on what to say and what to avoid. You will learn to identify safe, universal topics that work in any situation. This knowledge will equip you to navigate conversations with confidence and ease. Which of the following is considered a safe topic for any situation? A. Politics. B. Personal finances. C. The immediate environment. D. Detailed health issues. C. The immediate environment. Commenting on the shared, immediate surroundings is a neutral and universally acceptable way to start a conversation. Which of these is listed as a taboo topic to avoid with new acquaintances? A. Food and drink. B. Religion. C. Travel plans. D. Movies and TV shows. B. Religion. Religion is a deeply personal and potentially divisive topic that is best avoided in light, initial conversations. Why is the weather a classic small talk topic? A. It is controversial. B. It is a light, positive, and context-aware topic. C. It reveals deep personal information. D. It is only relevant in some cultures. B. It is a light, positive, and context-aware topic. The weather is a shared, neutral experience that everyone can comment on, making it a reliable and safe conversation starter. What is a good way to start a conversation about travel? A. Ask about the cost of their last trip. B. Ask if they have any exciting travel plans. C. Complain about your own travel experiences. D. Question their choice of destinations. B. Ask if they have any exciting travel plans. This is a positive, forward-looking, and open-ended question that invites the other person to share something exciting. Which of these topics should you steer clear of in initial conversations? A. Hobbies. B. Weekend plans. C. Gossip. D. Podcasts. C. Gossip. Engaging in gossip can create a negative impression and erode trust, making it a poor choice for building rapport. What defines a safe topic for small talk? A. It is complex and academic. B. It is light, positive, and context-aware. C. It is designed to start a debate. It is deeply personal and emotional. B. It is light, positive, and context-aware. Safe topics are those that are unlikely to cause offense or discomfort, making them ideal for initial interactions. Asking, "What was the highlight of your weekend?" is a good example of a question about which safe topic. A. Food and drink. B. The immediate environment. C. Hobbies and weekends. D. Entertainment. C. Hobbies and weekends. This question is a great way to learn about someone's interests and how they spend their free time in a positive way. Advanced conversational techniques. This section elevates your skills from good to great with master-level strategies. Discover how to ask better questions and create an effortless conversational flow. Learn the subtle psychological tricks that build instant rapport and make you a more memorable conversationalist. What is the main advantage of using open-ended questions? A. They can be answered with yes or no, colon. They invite detailed responses. C. They limit the other person's response. D. They make the conversation feel like an interview. B. They invite detailed responses. Open-ended questions using words like what or how encourage the other person to share more information, leading to a richer conversation. What is conversational threading? A. Sticking rigidly to one topic. B. Asking a series of unrelated questions. C. Picking up on a secondary detail from their last sentence to create flow. D. Interrupting the other person to share your story. C. Picking up on a secondary detail from their last sentence to create flow. This technique involves listening for minor details or threads and using them to guide the conversation naturally. What is the Ben Franklin effect? A. People dislike you after doing you a favor. B. Someone who has done you a favor is more likely to like you. C. Giving someone a gift makes them like you. Asking for a large favor is the best way to build rapport. B. Someone who has done you a favor is more likely to like you. This psychological principle suggests that asking for a small, low-stakes favor can subconsciously increase rapport. Why is it effective to use statements in addition to questions? A. It feels more collaborative and less like an interrogation. B. It shows you're not interested in their opinion. C. It is a way to quickly end the conversation. D. It asserts your dominance in the dialogue. A. It feels more collaborative and less like an interrogation. Peppering in observations or statements invites agreement or comment without demanding a direct answer, creating a more relaxed dynamic. Which of these is the best example of an open-ended question? A. Did you have a good weekend? B. Do you like this music? C. Are you from around here? D. What was the highlight of your weekend? D. What was the highlight of your weekend? This question cannot be answered with a simple yes or no and prompts the other person to share a story or details. What does conversational threading help to avoid? A long and interesting conversation. B. The awkward interview feeling. C. Learning new things about the other person. D. A natural and effortless flow. B. The awkward interview feeling. By following threads, the conversation branches out naturally, avoiding the stiff question-answer question pattern of an interview. Asking someone, could you watch my coat for just a second, can build rapport through which effect? A. The primacy effect. B. The recency effect. C. The Ben Franklin effect. D. The mirror neuron effect. C. The Ben Franklin effect. This is a perfect example of asking for a tiny, low-stakes favor that makes the other person feel helpful and valued, thereby building rapport. Using the statement, this music has a really great vibe, instead of a question, does what? A. Demands a detailed answer. B. Allows the other person to agree or add their own thought. C. Ends the conversation immediately. D. Confuses the other person. B. Allows the other person to agree or add their own thought. This creates a more collaborative feel, inviting them to contribute without putting them on the spot with a direct question. The unspoken conversation. Explore the world of nonverbal communication and its profound impact on connection. Learn how body language and presence can create subconscious rapport. Understand the psychological principles that make your first and last impressions incredibly powerful. What is behavioral synchrony? A. Disagreeing with someone's speech rate. B. Consciously avoiding any similar gestures. C. Subtly mimicking the body language and speech rate of another person. D. Speaking much louder than the other person. C. Subtly mimicking the body language and speech rate of another person. This is a subconscious process where we mirror others to build rapport driven by mirror neurons. What psychological principle states that people disproportionately remember the first thing you say? A. The recency effect. B. The primacy effect. C. The Ben Franklin effect. D. The halo effect. B. The primacy effect. The primacy effect explains why your opening line is so critical in forming a lasting impression. What is the recency effect in conversation? A. People forget everything you said recently. B. People only remember the middle of the conversation. C. People disproportionately remember the very last thing you say. D. People remember things that happened recently in the world. C. People disproportionately remember the very last thing you say. The recency effect highlights the importance of a graceful exit and a positive closing statement. What is the key to consciously leveraging behavioral synchrony? A. To be an exact copycat. B. To be very obvious in your mimicry. C. To be subtle. D. To mimic only negative body language. C. To be subtle. The goal is to create a subconscious feeling of connection, not to make the other person feel like they're being mocked. A warm, confident opening line leverages which psychological effect? A. The recency effect. B. A bystander effect. C. The anchoring effect. D. The primacy effect. D. The primacy effect. A strong opening has an outsized impact on the other person's overall impression of you because of this effect. A positive, memorable closing line like it was a real pleasure has a major impact because of what? A. The recency effect. B. The primacy effect. C. The Ben Franklin effect. D. Behavioral synchrony. A. The recency effect. Your final words are disproportionately remembered, making a positive closing statement a powerful tool for leaving a good impression. What biological mechanism is believed to drive behavioral synchrony? A. Adrenaline. B. Cortisol. C. Mirror neurons. D. Pheromones. C. Mirror neurons. These specialized brain cells are thought to be responsible for our ability to empathize with and subconsciously mimic the actions of others. Small talk in the modern world. This final section examines small talk in our modern, interconnected world. Discover its role in remote work and how to navigate different cultural communication styles. We will also touch on how modern technology can be used to practice and improve your skills. In the context of remote work, what is the new water cooler? A. The company's social media page. B. The first few minutes of a video call. C. The direct messaging chat. D. The annual company retreat. B. The first few minutes of a video call. This time is a crucial opportunity for the informal, team-building chat that would naturally occur in a physical office. What defines a low-context culture? A. Communication is expected to be indirect and implied. B. Communication is expected to be direct and explicit. C. Communication relies heavily on nonverbal cues. D. Communication is only done through writing. B. Communication is expected to be direct and explicit. In low-context cultures, like the US and UK, people are expected to say what they mean clearly and directly. What is a key feature of high-context cultures? A. Words are more important than relationships. B. Meaning is direct and never implied. C. Much of the meaning is implied and relationship-focused. D. Small talk is considered rude. C. Much of the meaning is implied and relationship-focused. In high-context cultures, such as Japan, building relationships and understanding unspoken cues is often more important than the literal words used. According to the guide, the US and UK are examples of which type of culture? A. High context. B. Medium context. C. Low context. D. No context. C. Low context. These countries are considered low context because their communication style is generally direct and explicit. Why is it important to understand the difference between high context and low context communication? A. To prove your cultural superiority. B. To adapt your style and avoid misunderstandings. C. To only speak with people from your own culture. D. It is not important for global communication. B. To adapt your style and avoid misunderstandings. Recognizing someone's communication style allows you to adjust your own approach, leading to more effective and respectful interactions. How can AI language models be a useful tool for improving small talk? A. They can make real-life friends for you. B. They can attend social events in your place. C. They can be used to role-play scenarios and practice phrasing. D. They can analyze your past conversations for mistakes. C. They can be used to role-play scenarios and practice phrasing. AI provides a safe and accessible way to practice conversation starters, threading, and other techniques without real-world pressure. In a global business environment, why is adapting your small talk style crucial? A. It shows you are inflexible. B. It helps in avoiding all forms of communication. C. It prevents misunderstandings and builds stronger relationships. D. It makes communication less efficient. C. It prevents misunderstandings and builds stronger relationships. Being aware of and adapting to different cultural norms around communication is key to success in a globalized world.